Only 4 Dave Matthews Band tours have seen every song from Before These Crowded Streets be played in it. 3 of them happened the last 3 summers, and only one of them has happened before the pandemic. That's Fall of '98 tour. The DMB post show stream starts now. We'll talk about this awesome Gilford show where Halloween completed this tour's crowning achievement of having every Before These Crowded Streets song played.
It's your boy Concert Viz 34 back at home.
What up, what up? It's your boy Concert Viz 34.
Yep, so your boy Concert Viz 34.
It's 34? Aria. Okay, so this is Aria. And just tell us a little bit about yourself and about your love for the Dave Matthews Band.
I've been a fan of the band since April 28, 1998. And if you recognize the date, that's when Before These Crowded Streets was released.
Alpine is definitely a better venue than Summerfest, but we'll take it. I think I've been going to shows for about 20-something years.
I always tell people, like, compare DMB to now to when I first started. And I got started, in my opinion, I feel like I got started late. Like, I was at the very end of the band's prime. I feel like that 03 to 06 was like the end of the prime. 07, 08 was like, you know, we're at the very end. And then when Roy passed.
But Dave really, this is the thing. Dave has put, Rashawn has been assigned the quarterback of this team. He is the coach, the play caller. He designs the jams. Dave just shows up and plays whatever he's going to play. Don't take for granted the DMB shows in the Granite State. New Hampshire, what up? Tilton, what up? Laconia, stand up. Belmont, what up? Concord, what up? Shout out Manchester. Portsmouth, what up? Kittery, Maine, what up? Nashua, what up? Lowell, Massachusetts, stand up. Shout out Brattleboro, Vermont. Lawrence, Mass, what up? Hillsborough, what up? Gilford, what up? Shout out Meredith. Shout out Mount Washington. On top of the world, hanging free. Portland, Maine, stand up. Hampton Beach, what up? Jeannie, happy 100 show. It's nice to meet you today. What up, what up? It's your boy Conserviz 34, and I think the secret is out. Go for New Hampshire. But the overall tour has been special. It's not just Gilford. Okay? This overall tour has been something for us all to marvel at as far as the work this band is putting in to make every show as different as possible. Yes, the saying is always, oh, they don't play the same set every night. And that has always technically been true. But in previous eras of the band, even going back to last year in 2023, there were even more convenient ways for you to kind of know what was going to be coming next, what was likely as far as how the songs were going to be placed. This band has taken their trickery to the next level. We saw this type of trickery start in 2023 with the American Baby intro and some other things, some fakes. Instead of looking like they were going to do Madmans, they did Minarets. But today or tonight, so much to say. Anyone seen the bridge? Too much fake and the ants marching, and then Big Eyed Fish. Right after that, he follow up with a bartender. I mean, not a bartender, a minaret. So you can tell I'm tired and I need sleep. Instead of a bartender, you have minarets. You have a number 27, which went straight into a typical situation. And for the first time ever, we have a 2-night stand where the opener was Lie in Our Graves, and in the encore we have a Lie in Our Graves reprise. Now it did go into Halloween, but that was actually a great thing. This entire tour, it's not just Gilford, it's this entire tour from Blossom to present. Okay, the first stretch before that through Syracuse was just aight. It wasn't bad. It was just aight. But since then, they've been going crazy with it. I want to play you some clips of some of these moments here. This was interesting because, you know, I would have predicted Raven would have been more likely to be played at SPAC. For some reason, it's always around SPAC. I would have predicted that SPAC would have gotten this Halloween, but this stuff happens in the midweek. And honestly, midweek shows are starting to look better. They are starting to look better than some of these bigger weekends where you have chompers galore. You have a lot of great people, but you have a lot of chompers who are yapping while Dave is playing something. Dave solo or the full band is playing a quieter song. When we talk about repeats that I saw in this stretch of 4 shows, SPAC times 2 and Gilford times 2. We're talking about Jimmy Thing was repeated. Okay. And then we are talking about Word Up was played twice. Take All Day was played twice. But other than that, everything else was on that new. Like we were watching ATL back in the day. I'm at a loss of words as far as trying to say what, critiquing sets. Of course, they played Bayou tonight. I would have rather not had it, but that's not the point. The way this band is expanding their catalog has me speechless. It is very similar to the drive I had coming downhill on Interstate 93 to get back to the hotel from Gilford, New Hampshire. You see, what is interesting about the drive home I had is I'm on an interstate. Most of New England, I would say 90% of New England doesn't have a speed limit over 65. Actually, I'll say 95. I'm just going to put I say 95. It's probably more than that. But the highway I was on tonight to get back home has a speed limit of 70. But the problem is you have this speed limit that is larger. But you're so worried about not being able to hit the brakes because the most of the drive is downhill that you can't, you don't know how to stop it. So you have to kind of go slow. And that's how I feel about these sets. I feel overwhelmed. I feel like I'm a runaway truck that needs to go on to that runaway ramp because my brakes have failed me. There is so much thrill in these sets. It feels like I'm going downhill without brakes in a good way. Raven gets thrown in there. And what's crazy is Raven has a 21 song show gap, last played on June 3rd. You have an Old Dirt Hill, a 24 show gap. This is nuts. Some of this stuff is absolutely nuts as far as how they're holding songs back. We get the first crush in 5 shows, and really it had, even though it's been played 6 times, it had a larger gap earlier this year. Let's go ahead and we're going to look at the first clip, which is So Much to Say. But we're going to go look at Anyone Seen the Bridge, Too Much Fake into Ants Marching. Let's listen here. Gotcha trick. Shout out to them big steppers, them big ants. So there you go, a little bit of ants marching there to end that off. That run of So Much Bridge, Too Much Fake, and the ants marching. And after that, we had an epic Big Eye Fish. Let me play this Big Eye Fish to Minarets. Let me make sure I get everything set here as well. Let's see. Let me go to my downloads. And I'll get this all set up here. These files are huge. These 4K files. Let's see. All right, here we go. Listen. just some nice trickery right there. Going from Big Eye Fish in the Minarets. Who would have thought? 27 went in a typical situation. And let's look at the main thing right here. Let's check out the encore. I will say this, when it comes to being quiet, unfortunately, nearly every venue, if not all venues, have some people who are talking or not as attentive, and that can be distracting. But I will say the crowd for Take All Day was a lot quieter. Let's go ahead. We're going to do a side-by-side comparison, and you guys tell me what you think. Here we got Take All Day from Gilford, and then we'll go to Spidak. Okay. Let's go ahead and pull up for SPAC Night 2. All right, so the first video clip you're about to hear, this is from SPAC. Let's listen in.
It was amazing.
Now, comparison, I was just to the left of the soundboard. If you're looking at the stage, just slightly to the left of the soundboard, where for Gilford, I was in 1C, row 15. That is on the horn side, and 15 rows back. So it's like that, left of center type thing going on. Let's listen here to SPAC.
Take all day. Love's not like that. No, it's not easy. Not like broken bones or dying alone. It'll put a spell on you. It'll run you. Love's not like that. No, it's not easy. It's not like taming lions or sleeping giants. Love will get the best of you. It's no game. Wanna tell you I love you, but it'll take all day.
I'm sorry, guys. My mic was off. My mic. Thank you guys in the chat there. But what I was saying is, if you notice, the first video was SPAC. Second video was Gilford. The Gilford video has much more clearer audio. It just does. And I think that's just something with SPAC. Something's been going on the last couple of years with SPAC. And it's just one of those things where, I hope it gets fixed for SPAC. I really, really hope it gets fixed for SPAC. So we'll see what happens. But the sound has not been the same the last couple of years at SPAC. Gilford, by the way, continues to improve and make things better. It's a hard. Someone I overheard someone say, I don't know if I can't remember where I heard this today, but that Ian had told them, Guilford's a hard venue to set sound for because it's like a shed, low roof, versus some of the larger amphitheaters with some of the higher roofs. So it is something that Ian, at least said, late Ian Kuhn said last year to somebody, but it sounded great today. And RIP to Ian. I got my bracelet from Jen Ryder that says for Ian. Now it's 41 Ian. By the way, no number 41, no Gray Street. And here's the kicker. There was no Gray Street for my entire run of shows this tour. I did have a 41, but listen, I'd rather them not play it at every 2-night stand if you're not going to have that sax solo. All right. So it's interesting because when I like this set doesn't fall off like SPAC Night 2, where I thought a lot of songs I didn't think I even needed started showing up. Like, do you remember? I'm good. I'm good, Dave. But like, if we look at, this is the SPAC set. You go from Stay, Every Meh, to Looking for a Vein, Jim Meh thing, A Word Up, You Never Know. Now, You Never Know is really that one from Stay to Word Up. It's kind of dead. You Never Know is a beacon of hope. And then you get Hunger, 7, Do You Remember? And then the next song is really Rapunzel, that even has any sort of hope. I still think it's not raising the bar for a SPAC Saturday. And Steady As We Go, same thing, not doing it. Pig is definitely the song that did it. And then Love and Wings came after it. But also Love and Wings, people were yapping. All right, so let's go back to tonight's show. I want to play the encore. Now, Typical was phenomenal, as it typically is. I think the more the band tries to look at continuing to play that as a highlight for the horns, it's a great thing. Word Up, people talk about they don't like Word Up, but here's the reality. If you, just like me, aren't a fan of most covers of Dave, Word Up is a much quicker cover. It's in and out. It's drive in, drive out, I'm leaving. And so I would almost rather get Word Up. I don't personally think it's as bad as I thought it was going to be. But that was also fresher. Maybe if I had a couple of these, I'd be like, come on. Now, yes, guys, if you're watching at home, they did play Bayou. So they did play Bayou. and I just was like, oh no. Everything was pointing to it, where Dave's hand position was, getting ready, and just it is what it is. But this set was so good that I almost forgot. I was so hyped up about the Before These Crowded Streets stat. But yeah, it is what it is. Let's go ahead and play the encore. Let's see. All right. Let's see here. Hope I'm on the wrong. Oh yeah, I'm at SPAC because I was trying to show you guys SPAC. Okay, let's go to Gilford. Please stand by. All right, there we go. There we go. Oh. Let's see. All right, here we go. Thank you for your patience.
I can't believe that people
All right, I wanted to stop it right here because I just want to break down some things here. So if we even go, you're gonna hear the Halloween transition now. Halloween, when it is set up as it's gonna be played, you typically have the flying V guitar from Tim, and then Dave uses the standard acoustic. And so once I saw the Supro get pulled out, that's the white guitar Tim has, I was like, okay, it's not going to be Halloween. And I was like, yeah. But he's going to transition this into that. And also the thing is, like, the fakes that he uses, they were all gone or exhausted from earlier in the weekend that typically go into Halloween. So I was not expecting it, but let's listen through a little bit more. And again, at this point, I don't see that flying V. And that's why in my mind, as I'm recording this, I'm like, oh, okay, it's not going to be that. Brother, I was turned. I was hyped. All right, so I would get everything. I'm gonna have to get taper audio for that, unless y'all really want this to come out like tomorrow. Like, yeah, that whole I was singing a little too, so I'm gonna need to wait for that taper audio. Shout out to the taper community, but I was so happy and excited, and yeah. I was like, yeah, bro, I wasn't like that. I was like, yeah, bro. I was man, that was definitely a moment. Definitely a moment there. So, all right. The poster's right there, but I'm gonna put it enlarge a little more. The poster sold out. Oh, let's put it out and this is a F4D studio poster, but you have affiliates. That's what they did with Methane. You would have a studio and you have various people working on them. So the name of the poster artist is NG Yin Shihan. And sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, but I thought it was cool. I like when they add nature in. They got the birds of water, and it's cool. And it did sell out, so I'm sure there's demand for it. But I thought this was a great poster run. Nothing too egregious or red flag worthy. It's just a matter of some people like one over the other, maybe one style over the other. It is what it is. What else? That's my tour. That's all I'm doing. Those are the only shows, but these are the shows I thought it was worth it. And I told you guys throughout the year I wanted to maximize the shows that I could go to, because with my son being 4 months, I was not going to be going cross country, things like that. And I'm happy with my choices. Even with the odd SPAC Night 2 show where I think it just was unconventional, still a good show. PMP and the 2-step to start off. That's a great show. I'll probably have more on this later. I'm exhausted. I'm going to rest safely. For here, we can rest safely. Gilford is... People saw the magic of Gilford, spoiler alert. And, I hope there's more Southern New England shows so people don't come up here. And I hope that the Chomper Nation does not make this a regular mainstay. I hope it continues to stay respectful and quiet. And there's always somebody talking. And you can hear it a little in my videos, but it's just a better overall experience. Allegedly. I heard there's bears. Just kidding. But it's hard to please this entire fan base, but they're doing as much as they can to really blend out and extend these sets. But I am just so proud of this group of this current band format and the current personnel. I'm so happy for this band, and they've been through a lot. And if we're honest with ourselves, maybe some people missed it. Maybe you was having a couple too many drinks, but I was sober, guys. And as someone who was sober during these shows, you could tell that there was, in the previous era of this band, at the end, just things were so weird. I was shout out to Michael, who came on the stream after one of the MSG shows. I was talking to him, like, things were weird in 2016. They were very weird. And so for this band to grow together, to be comfortable enough to play certain songs and to have songs rotated in and out, I have to commend them. And if there was ever a documentary or a question to ask DMB and have an investigative team look at it, how are they surviving all of the major changes that they've had? Think about it. You lose the heartbeat of the band, Leroy Moore. Right? You decide, even in his last months with the band, you're deciding to change your acoustic percussive greatness, which people expected, especially casual fans. And then you go ahead and say, you know what? We're going to play songs faster instead of slower, like Don't Drink the Water. And we're going to add electric guitar. It's going to be very loud. Even before that, we're going to add trumpet. it is amazing that this band still has fans. As fans walk away, and listen, there's nothing wrong with walking away from something that just doesn't give you that same joy. Speaking of that, Stay or Leave was played tonight, right? and I want you not to go. But this band, no matter what they do, they continue to get new fans. Ups and downs, but they're finding the best of what's around and getting some inspiration. We're at a time where a lot of musical acts are struggling to fill up certain venues. We're at a time where the cost of the average ticket price continues to rise. But here we are getting more bang for our buck than we've ever gotten in the history of Dave Matthews Band. There needs to be a documentary. There needs to be a study on how D&B is still getting fans to replace those who may leave because there's no violin. There's no violin. What am I going to do? You better, Dave, you better have a violin. Or else what? You still showing up to the show? I don't know why people talking that tough talk. Saying no violin or else. Or else what, homie? I am just fascinated with how this band has been able to improve their customer facing, their on stage chemistry. Like just this needs to be studied. Also, shout out to Mount Pleasant Band. They are a local band who, they play in New Hampshire and Massachusetts. But they were on the Little Hazy stage. We're going to close out with them when we get to the close. But I'm just so proud of my boy, Nikki G. And it wasn't just me there to support him. Some other friends we're in the building to support them at the Little Hazy stage. And, yeah, that's pretty. I'm exhausted. I hope you guys can see it. Guys, the love this weekend, the love at SPAC. I'm just thank you guys for the support. I think what really makes me happy is, listen. I know Johnny Driscoll of Ants March. I mean, not Ants March. Johnny Driscoll of D&B Family, but I just wanted to find a way. There was, antsmarching.org. I think one of the gentlemen from Ants, I shook his hand today, I believe, it's such a blur. But I really appreciate you guys supporting this platform, and the love this weekend and today and yesterday has been overwhelming. But I wanted to. I didn't want what happened was Ants marching. The message board started to shift and people were leaving, and part of the changes of the band, right? Leroy passes away, and then you have no violin in the band, and people started to kind of, certain chats and buzz was starting to cool down, and it builds back up, and it's great to see. Even answers a lot of people that play the setlist game, and it's getting them back into conversing with people on Ants, which you should do. Support Ants marching. But the point was, I just felt like, first of all, there was nobody on YouTube specifically. Antsmarching.org podcast, I believe, had to cease because the people who created it had a lot going on. Right. And I can only imagine as I am having a 4-month-old in the house and even thinking about having a couple of more concert kids. We're not. That's it. Don't be thinking another one. No. I think this is going to be it. But, having other obligations or having a job where the role takes away, but they couldn't do what they were doing. And I loved what Ants Marching, was doing with the podcast. And you had Facebook popping up, and there's nothing wrong. I'm on Facebook, But there wasn't a balance of perspective. Even now, there's more of a balance of perspective and different opinions being okay. That at certain points, you couldn't, oh, how dare you not like a song as much? You're supposed to love every song equally, right? If you don't, that's discrimination, right? Don't be biased against Bayou concert vids. Like, and so I made this platform. I know I'm kind of on a long, I'm really ranting like Dave right now. And I wasn't even I didn't plan what I was going to say, but I just wanted to share an opinion, and I wanted to get other people's opinions, whether you agreed or disagreed, and have conversations. I didn't want this to be an echo chamber of, oh, I love the band. They, no matter what they do, they can do no wrong. Oh, how are they going to top night one? I could tell you how they going to top night one, and let me tell you on the post-show stream. How could the band ever make an even better set? Oh, they can. I'm going to tell you. Like, that's my whole motivation. But even within that, I've wanted to share the things I've learned from so many great people in this community and learn from you guys as I have conversations with many of you guys who have perspective, whether you're a first or second time fan and you notice something cool, or whether you've been listening to this band for 25, 30 plus years. And so to go out, and I think the biggest thing that just, it was really dope to see was you had a lot of, not a lot, but I would say like 5 or 6 teenage kids, a lot of them with their parents. They were like, yeah, I watched the stream, I learned a lot, I'm a new fan, I'm this, I'm that. That's how I learned from the Ants podcast and from other stuff, from Copper Pot, sharing facts. And so if people saying, hey, I learned this, I that's what the goal was for this channel. And I think it's hard to, on a daily basis, do this stuff and not understand, is it reaching people? But the answer is it reaching people? It absolutely is, to talk to you guys and thank you guys for the support. I really appreciate it. And I'm motivated to continue to do what I can, even as I, am in this chapter of fatherhood that's going to take more time, because make no mistake about it, my father, my grandfathers, they raised me to, you got to put that family, you got to take care of your family first. And it's a blessing to have those men in my life to teach me that. But I'm motivated still, even this weekend, to capture the full shows. Now, there's some stops because I have to stop and make sure that, because I like to split up into like 4 or 5 different videos. But to be able to put that tribute up for the Ozzy Osbourne, and to put up some other videos, and to play some of the stuff for you last night, that's why I do this. I want to preserve the great things DMB is doing, because we don't have a Nugs type subscription. We did have some Volta stuff last year, and we've had some other mixed things, but I care more about preserving this stuff than I do about fully being like, that's the number one thing, preserving. And I enjoyed the shows. I had fun today, and you'll hear, and that's why I need tape audio, because I was singing and yelling and let's go, like, yeah. And but I want to preserve, and that's with the multicams, that's with and I also want to talk and give my opinion and hear your opinion. Anyway, I'm rambling. I'm going too long. I was on pace to have a shorter show tonight, but it's gone. Let me end with Mount Pleasant. I'm proud of them, but again, feel free. Like, I know I can't. Like, sometimes I was talking to people to this whole Gilford run. I was just like talking and listening to y'all. But feel free to come up, say what's up. I love having conversations. I'm just a fan who wants to learn from you guys. I just decided to show my face and come up here and talk about it, right? And shout out to my peers The pod that Jane likes, corner of Gray Street. So the pod that Jane likes, I always see them at Gilford. It's easiest to find them here, but I appreciate them for their support. Even before I had this post-show stream, it just was on trying to figure out what I was going to do. Like, you know, people like Trish and some of the other people from the pod that Jane likes and other people, Ants, you know, just saying, hey, we love what you're doing. That means the world to me. So I appreciate that support from other creators, other people who talk D&B, have podcasts, things like that. All right, I'm going to shut up. Let's close out with this, and I'll have to gather my thoughts after sleep and maybe put out try to encompass the stats more. But the Before These Crowded Streets thing is crazy. That 23, 24, 25, we have 3 straight years of summer tours that have had before every song from Before These Crowded Streets. Outside of that, prior to 2023, there was only one other time in the history of the band where every Before These Crowded Streets song was played. You would have thought it would have happened at least 2 or 3 times. Nope, just once. Fall of 98, and then you have to go to this current run, 23, 24, 25, to get the other 3 for 4 total tours where Before These Crowded Streets, every song was played in full. But for I'm going to end the show now, and we're going to listen to Mount Pleasant. Very, very, very short clip. But again, I feel like this trip was worth it. And I feel like this trip showed me what, the impact of sharing and creating community and talking to you guys when I can, and having you guys on to share your perspective. So thank you to everyone, SPAC, Gilford, all the fans out there who said what's up. All right, for real, this time I promise you, this time I'm going to transition. All right.
So much. We'll be back someday, maybe over with that guy over on that stage. And thank you so much. Thank you, Mount Pleasant, and thank you guys so much for your attention. We're gonna do a little picture. You guys stay right there.